eventually,
with you.
No, eventually
Arnab,
it is the court
Arnab,
which.
I think we are both talking the same language.
No, but eventually,
I am saying today's public expects the media to be forceful. Now, the media is forceful. Naturally, that affects opinion. So when opinion gets affected, we then turn around and blame the media. I'm saying we've got to accept today's day and age's change.
Well, I don't think so. I remember.
I would hate to think that a judge or a judgment is affected by the media.
No, I think it is, Mr. Sundaram, I think it's finding an easy target for all those people tonight who want to blame somebody for what the court has done. They forget that while denying the bail to the accused in Railgate, the CBI judge in a CBI...
How could you ever blame the court for what the court has done? I'm sorry,
sir,
to say that is to really be very presumptuous.
Sir, no.
I presume that the judge is going to be affected by the media.
Sir,
I don't believe the judge was affected by the media.
The judge is
I may not agree with his judgment, but I do not believe he was affected by the media.
So that defeats...
And anybody who says judges are affected by the media, I'm sorry.
But if the judge is not affected by the media, and if the judge, like in the case of Railgate, says that the outer commotion, whether in the courtroom, outside the courtroom or the media, does not affect the inner calm and reflection that a judge exercises while passing any order or judgment, and they go on to say that courts do not pass orders on the basis of what is being talked outside the purview of the documents placed before the court, then it defeats your entire argument, and that's the central point I'm trying to make here. Let's go to K Anand. 1 second. I just want to get... No, but then for everything today, especially in a case like this, where Mr. Aryama Sundaram, there is a family and people who have access to the biggest lawyers in the country. There are so many appeals made and so many petitions and pleas made that, if I am not mistaken, Justice Khehar noted with dismay that Dr. Nupur Talwar was filing frivolous petitions and the review petition was uncalled for. It's not as if the Talwars were not armed when they went to the courts. K Anand, what's your perspective?
Is that a question?
See, the question is whether the media, is it because of the media the Talwars have been convicted? I'm going to ask a question to myself. It's only because Talwars have been convicted the media is being blamed? Supposing today Krishna and other people have been convicted. Anybody said that the media is not a media trial? 2 murders have taken place. 2 bodies are lying in a house, one on the top floor and one in the bedroom. Of course that the media is supposed to highlight a small girl of 14 years have been killed in a house where the parents are living in the next room and the body of the servant is lying on the top floor. I want to ask a question to myself. Psychologically, if somebody else has committed a murder other than Talwar, for them after committing murder, whether the body lies on the ground floor or the first floor or the top floor doesn't make a difference. Wherever they commit a murder, they leave the body there and they go out. But taking the body out on the top floor, I mean, I can understand that Talwars committing murder and taking the body out, they won't like the body to remain inside the house because they won't be able to sleep. It is impossible for Talwars to contend that the 2 murders took place, the body lying on the ground floor, on the first floor in their own house, and they were sleeping. So today, I think it's very easy to say.
Well, we are getting, K Anand, we are getting responses from the Talwar family.
Look at the FIR.
No, we are getting responses from the Talwar family. First, I think from Toronto, Shree Paradkar, aunt of Aarushi Talwar, wants to respond to you. I saw Avirook also responding there, and Dinesh Talwar as well. So I'd like to first I think it was Shree Paradkar, you wanted to respond to what K Anand was saying there.
I did.
Yes, go ahead.
There's 2 quick things I want to say. One, the role of media that you've talked about. I think it's an important role to play, but I think we're all barking up the wrong tree. We're talking about the Talwars versus CBI, the class issues, these issues. I think there is only 2 sides to the story, the truth and fiction.
Well, was it truth or fiction against the domestic servants? Was it truth or fiction against them?
It's the job of the media to follow the truth.
No, was it truth or fiction? How should we swallow it? No, I'm asking you tonight, Ms. Paradkar, with respect to you. 1 minute. Ms. Paradkar, tell me, how is it my job to accept it as the truth? When the domestic servants, when the domestic servants are charged, at that point of time, you want me to believe what the CBI says. You want me to swallow it as the final truth.
Answer that, Arnab.
1 second.
Answer that, Arnab.
Who's that? 1 second. Dinesh Talwar wants to come in. Yes, Dinesh Talwar, brother of Rajesh Talwar, come into the debate. Go ahead.
Arnab, I firmly believe that you have the same role. You do not play partisan role. You have the same role whether you're talking of the servants or whether you're talking of the Talwars. And your role is to get to the truth. And unfortunately, my only the regret is that even today, I see a statement being made about a body being dragged to the roof. Does the person who made this statement, has he checked the facts? No. And let me tell you, Arnab, provided you have checked the facts, I am with you all the time. Because I rely on you to give me the truth.
No, 1 second. 1 second.
You are important to us.
1 second, Mr. Talwar.
And the media has a critical role in bringing that out.
Mr. Talwar, you must remember this, that you cannot simply always, I'm not saying you specifically, but for all the people who are cribbing about the media here today, you consider what the Supreme Court said in the recent case of Asaram, who wanted the apex court to restrain the media from the coverage of his arrest over accusations of rape. The Supreme Court said, and I quote, the Honorable Court said, we cannot ask the media not to report the information they get from police and other sources. If some inmate says something or an investigating officer talks to the media, how can we stop them? The media is reporting what they say. You have other civil or criminal remedies. We are doing our job. And I think today to say that the media does not do its job when we have subjected a member of our own fraternity, Tarun Tejpal, to the kind of scrutiny that the Talwars were also subjected to. So, you know, I think we have a great moral standing to argue this case
I'm sorry. I did not say that you're not doing your job. I said I respect you when you get to the bottom of the matter. If you
Mr. Talwar,
are pursuing the truth, I respect you.
Mr. Talwar, there is a court out there. The court has decided that your brother, whatever they have judged against your brother, is done by the court, Mr. Talwar, not by the media. You must understand this. If the court, Mr. Talwar, let me ask you this. If the court had ruled otherwise, the media and everyone else, including me, would have had to accept it. You agree with me or not? We would have accepted it. You agree with me? Right? Even today.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Because when you don't want to accept something, you criticize it very vocally. When you want to accept something, you accept it.
Well, I'm very sorry.
So the question is, when you accept it, do you accept it because it is the truth, because you have checked the facts, or do you just accept it because the police says it, or the court says it?
Please understand.
If the court says something, would you never question it?
Mr. Talwar,
are you trying to tell me that the court never questions anything said by the court?
Mr. Talwar, you remember this, that it is one thing to say that the media denied the Talwars a fair trial. I would like to point out to you today, before you are playing victim in this case, that the Talwars, including your brother and your sister-in-law, have knocked on the doors of the judiciary repeatedly for a number of reasons, and every time it was the court that rejected their pleas, not the media. It was the court. In fact, while hearing one of your sister-in-law's numerous petitions, the court said, and I quote, I have noticed that every single order passed by the magistrate having any repercussion is being assailed right up to this court. Of course, the right to avail a remedy under law is the right of every citizen, but such a right cannot extend to misuse of jurisdiction. Those were the words of the court, Mr. Talwar, not mine.
The same court also said,
we submit to the court.
Let me quote. The same court also said the Talwars must be given every opportunity.
And were they not given?
That when they felt aggrieved, they had the right.
Were they?
Now let me tell you something else.
Were they not given? Are you saying tonight they were not given?
That the scientific test of the... I am not... let me tell you, the court also said, you are quoting a particular judgment. It's out of context. Please keep to the context.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I am saying, no, Mr. Talwar, Mr. Talwar, there is nothing out of context. The context is simply this, and simply this. The context is the repeated tryst of the Talwars with the courts. You have the dates, I have the dates. You go through the dates and I'll tell you what happened on each date, because I remember. You have had an opportunity before the courts, which is why I find it strange that today you come and crib about the media.
Arnab, may I come I'm sorry, I thought you called me over here.
No, but you are cribbing about the media. I'm not saying you have, I have of course called you, but I want you to know how you declare the media the villain in this case. How?
Again, this is not my quote. I don't know whom you are quoting.
Well, can I tell you what the lawyers have said in this particular case, and you can tell me whether you agree with me or not?
Yeah, what I'm quoting.
Rebecca John says media collaborated with the CBI as its B team. Rather than act as watchdogs, they opted for sensation. That's what Rebecca Jones said.
Absolutely. This is all I said, that Arnab, I believe you are a very incisive person. I believe you are brilliant and you are capable of differentiating the truth from a fabricated piece of evidence.
But
unfortunately,
no, it's not in my case.
That is all we are saying, the media should have done that.
It's not in my case.
Sir, it's not.
So one second, Shobha is responding to you. I would only say it's not my job.
Sir, exactly, sir.
One second.
It's not whether Arnab is capable, incapable, has decided the truth, is incisive or not. He is not the court. The court has decided.
Precisely.
So, where is the question of one individual or many individuals in media, outside media, arguing about this when the verdict has been given? And after a fair amount of time, yes, if you're talking about miscarriage of justice, you can still appeal, and you're going to. So if it's about miscarriage of justice, it's something else. But in this case, there has been a double tragedy. A young family finds a teenage daughter dead. If there's miscarriage of justice, there's tragedy number one. If there is none and they are guilty, it's a double whammy and it's a double tragedy. Whichever way you look at it, it's a case that's full of drama and it's bound to involve people, which goes beyond just legalese.
No, I go back to Avirook in this. Avirook, I'm on this point because are there certain hypocrisies which come to the surface? And to be clear with you on this, Avirook, what I'm talking about is that there is a section of the media which will be shouting over the roof at the Talwar's innocence. Did this section also come out in support of the servants as aggressively?
Sure.
It doesn't matter.
Why does it not matter?
I disagree with none of that, Arnab. I disagree with none of that. Yes, please.
No, please continue.
I disagree with none of that, Arnab. What I want to ask you is a simple question. Now, verdicts have been overturned in the past. If this one gets overturned, will we be having another debate on why the media wasn't vindicated on this show? The process of justice is not complete as yet.
It's a hypothetical question.
So why are you waving your flag saying that
hypothetical question?
Exactly. But so it is not hypothetical, Ms. Day, whether the process of justice is complete or not. Please get the facts right. The process of justice is not yet complete. They have the right to appeal.
Sure.
Another court may well or may not overturn this. At that time, what? Will we have another debate?
This debate, Avirook,
sorry, we were mistaken.
Avirook, you are aware more than others. No, 1 second. Avirook, you are aware more than others. You've covered the case and you've been a long-standing journalist yourself, Avirook. You are aware this debate that we are having tonight is not a debate without context. Because this particular case has become a case study in how the media always gets things wrong. My only limited point, which I would like your point of view, is the job of the media, Avirook, is to report the facts.
May I make a really quick point?
Sure, go ahead.
It's rude to talk over you, but I will say this. I will say that are you using this judgment on this show to certify good journalism? You know what? We can do much better than that.
No, 1 second, Avirook. We stay focused on this. We stay. 1 second. First of all, 1 second, Avirook. You asked a question. Then here's a simple answer to you, Avirook. This is not a debate on good journalism or bad journalism. But for the last many years, well over 5 years, at every occasion, the Aarushi Talwar case, the twists and turns of the investigating agencies, the hypocrisies of the investigating agencies, the mistakes and botch-ups of the investigating agencies, the questions raised by the media over the botch-ups of the investigating agencies have been made into a metaphor of the mistakes of the media itself, which is where the contradiction is. Because when the media campaigns for Ruchika Girotra,
I'll tell you why.
No, when the media campaigns for Ruchika Girotra or Jessica Lal, at that point of time, nobody calls it a lynch mob. Everyone pronounces Mr. Rathore and Manu Sharma guilty. There are no questions raised then. And what is wrong today if I ask why in this particular question are these questions being brought to the light? That's simply this. I think we must have an open debate on that.
Today is not justice. Arushi's parents are not killers.
Of course we're having an open debate about it, which is why I raised the point. Do we need this particular case or this verdict in this case to certify for us
No.
that we have been vindicated or otherwise. I think
No, one second. Again,
far beyond
again,
that. Let's look
Avirook,
at the facts a little more.
Avirook, as I said,
why are we looking at a vindication for the media? You
one
started the
sec,
show.
the
Arnab, by saying, has
the question
vindicated?
comes from the fact,
take
Avirook,
that
which
back
you are
then.
well aware of. I'm sure you are not unaware, that everyone, including
No,
KTS Tulsi, who is one second, KTS Tulsi, Mukul Rohatgi, Rebecca John, and everyone, all these lawyers have, as an outright statement, blamed the media in this case. Let's get KTS Tulsi in, and maybe that will help elaborate the point that I'm making. But before that, you were saying something there, Ms. Paradkar. Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to ask you a question. Do you think that the media has been completely responsible in its coverage of the Aarushi Talwar murder?
Well, I think the media has been reporting every twist and turn of the investigating agencies, and the media